Hey, and welcome back to week 5. This time, pages, menus, categories, and tags. So I'm super stoked to get started because this is when the creativity sort of pops in and things start to really sort of happen. So first and foremost, before we jump in, we have to sort of discuss what categories and what tags are all about. So similarly, categories are basically things that your pages fit into. So, for instance, if you had a restaurant, per se, and you had lunch, dinner, and you had breakfast, those are each categories. So if somebody were to come into that website and search in a toolbar or even online with Google, and you're looking for chicken dishes, that is more of a tag that is associated to a name. So it's kind of like a hashtag in a way, but basically it's for search engines and visitors to figure out or find certain items and certain sort of keywords associated with a page, an item, or inside a category. So let's show you this website, for instance. So you see this individual has 3 top categories in their menu structure: my services, essential oils, and sort of a contact me, which is not necessarily a category, more of a page itself. So, and then you see sort of subcategories and subcategories like nutrition and workshops, and then you can see the different pages associated with under nutrition and workshops or packages. And similarly, this doesn't have any categories or substructures, just single pages. But this is really important because if you come into a website and you feel lost or confused, then the designer or the owner of the website didn't properly put the basically the site and the pages properly together and give a certain or proper flow for the individual. So we can see that there's different types of menu structures. So we're going to go back into our WordPress admin panel, but I wanted to sort of briefly talk to you about the menu itself. So we will be changing or naming different menu structures, and there, if you didn't know, in most sites there's many different menus. So this is the top or the title or header menu structure. At the bottom is generally the footer. So there's sort of different items that can be placed or links placed in the footer menu as well. So jumping back to the dashboard, we it might seem kind of daunting, but you'll get your way around this, no problem. But just spend some time in clicking and looking and researching. But these are where we start our pages, but we have to start our categories first. So let's start with our customization of our appearances. So let's go to Appearance. Let's go to Menus, and this is where, as I mentioned before, if we look here, this is the top sort of header menu. We can call this the main menu. So let's go ahead and call this the main menu, and we want to say Create Menu. Terrific, we've got it now. So this is going to be our primary rather, and we want to select this is the primary menu sort of structure. So anything underneath this main menu will be different categories. In essence, the main menu is also a category because it's the root. So when you hear the word root, it's basically the start of where the tree grows. And this is what we're really making, is we're making a tree. Let's update this so that we save what we've just done. We always have to remember to sort of update and save this page. But now is our time to jump into the tags itself. So we're adding tags for this particular category. So unlike a category in a page that should have one category, you can have multiple tags associated with the page that you've created. So let's use this for example. Breakfast, this is going to be our breakfast page that we've created. It will have eggs, it will have bacon, it will have let's say weekend, right? And I'm using a comma to delimit each tag that I'm associating this page with. So I typed eggs, comma, and you can see it automatically changed to sort of a little category. Now if I didn't want that and I thought, you know what, maybe weekend might not be what I want, and I want to add in French toast, or I wanted to add in pancakes, or I wanted to add in eggs Benedict, right? Or how we want the eggs. So you can add tons of tags on here, and that really helps search engines and helps individuals locate exactly what they want. The more precise you are with tags, the better and higher up in the search ranks that you're going to get, or the SEO, which is the search engine optimization. So we want to add as many tags as we can in there, and then once that's done, we want to update. And always continue to update, but whatever we've created in the WordPress environment, we can edit later on. So don't be too afraid to experiment and to come back and make those changes. We removed French toast from the menu on this page. We can edit it here, or if we wanted to put back in French toast, we can do that again. Always use the comma to delimit or to separate the tags that you're doing. So now it's time to categorize some of the posts or pages that we've currently done. So let's go back to, I've done this menu sort of settings. We go back to all of our posts. Now we should be, I'm going to use the Hello World, but the first post that you created last week that will become part of your site. So I'm going to use Hello World, but you click on the one that you've created for your website. So let's go here. So this is, whatever you've created so far. We want to go to the categories, and the category that we're adding this into will eventually become part of the main menu structure. So if I go to category, right now you'll see it checked as uncategorized, and that's because we haven't placed anything in there yet. So we have to think of what we're going to be creating here that will become part of our menu structure. So if you do this in lowercase, it's going to show up in the main menu or whatever menu structure that you choose as that case. If it's mixed case or however you have it, you have to be sure that how you add this here, you can always edit it later, but how you want it to look. So I'm going to add the category in right now and just use the example that we have online here as breakfast. So I'm adding this in. I don't have a parent category yet, but this could be, it could be breakfast after 4 p.m. Exactly, and it could be added into different sort of things. Now I don't want to have this uncategorized, because generally you should have a page only associated with a single category. This helps search engines. However, in some instances you might have it separated into multiple categories, but it's always good to have it sort of organized in one. So by next week, you should have at least 10 posts that have been added to your site, as well as at least 3 categories and multiple tags. Each of those 10 posts should have at least 1 category applied to it and at least 3 tags. Again, the more tags, the better. So let's go into go back to what we were doing before with our menus, and we want to add in different, we have to update. See, whenever you get this leave site changes, let's hit cancel, and I did make a change because I added French toast and I subtracted it and then added it again. It remembers that. See how the update has gone sort of almost a transparent blue? That lets me know that it's been saved and it's now actually live. If we want to switch it to draft, this will allow us to edit this page without the public actually seeing it or search engines finding it. So we might want to switch to draft if we're sort of just playing around, for now. So let's go to appearance. Let's go to menus, and let's add in our breakfast menu. So we want to go to, well, there's all of our posts that are there. There's our Hello World, and we can associate, these different, pages, which you might have done before, with that. So look at that. Categories is already in there. It's propagated and shown here. We want to click on this, and we want to add it to the menu. So boom, it's now part of the main menu structure, breakfast, and then we can add in all of the different sort of sub-categories in the other categories, like lunch and dinner, or if you had a shoe store, it could be, the different types of shoes that you had, men's and women's, and then subcategories on, running or sports or dress, or then you can get into, other categories like manufacturers, Adidas, Puma, Bata, whatever. So this is where we can actually add this to the menu structure. Now you can also add this to a footer structure as well, or another menu. You might have a sale menu where you associate some of the categories to sale items. So this menu could be propagated and put on all pages, or just a single page if you had just a page dedicated to sale items or special sort of that you had on as well. So we're going to dive into this deeper, but this is sort of giving you an idea of the flexibility that WordPress has and how awesome this is. And you can eventually get something to look kind of fun like this and have a lot of great marketing tools and a lot of amazing sort of advertising that you can do as designers.